Amid revitalized bilateral ties, the Philippines and the US started their first big game under new President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. in style. Kamandag, or Marine Soldier Cooperation, kicked off earlier this month, featuring 2,550 US Marines with 630 Filipino comrades, including 500 from the Philippine Marines and 100 from the Philippine Navy and Air Force, and engaged in various military exercises through October 14th. Also involved, personnel from the Japan Self-Defense Forces, JSDF, and the Armed Forces of the Republic of Korea, ROKAF, also participated in the massive exercise, underscoring the Philippines' growing importance in the US Pentagon's unified deterrence strategy against China in the Indo-Pacific. While participating as observers, the JSDF and ROKAF are expected to join in on disaster response exercises and other related activities aimed at improving interoperability among the four allied countries. The Philippines-US annual Balikatan, shoulder-to-shoulder, exercises also regularly feature the armed forces of Japan and Australia as observer states. Philippine Navy Chief Rear Admiral Cesar Bernard Valencia underlined how the four-nation exercise was held in a volatile security environment. The location and type of exercise expressed shared concern over China's increasing assertiveness in the South China Sea and the nearby Taiwan Strait. The exercises were held in three main locations, namely in Palawan to the west, which lies next to disputed islands in the South China Sea, at Zambales near the disputed Scarborough Shoal, and on the northernmost islands of Batanes, which are just over 100 miles from the southern coast of Taiwan. Most importantly, the Kamandag exercises include inter alia, amphibious and coastal defense operations, as well as aircraft and high-mobility artillery rocket system (HIMARS) exercises. Unlike his predecessors, however, Philippine President Marcos Jr. has taken a much firmer stance on the South China Sea dispute, going so far as to reject Beijing's claims in Philippine waters. He also vowed to uphold the 2016 Arbitral Tribunal's ruling in The Hague, which overturned many of China's expansive claims in the South China Sea in favor of the Philippines. The recalibration of once comfortable relations with Beijing has gone hand in hand with revitalizing shaky relations with America. In his first 100 days, Marcos Jr. met with several high-ranking American officials, hosted U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Manila in August, and, weeks after, met U.S. President Joe Biden on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York. In a radical departure from Duterte's anti-Western tirade, Marcos Jr. praised America's stabilizing role in the Indo-Pacific, vowing to make the Philippines-US alliance stronger in the years to come. Shortly after his meeting with Biden, Philippines Defense Chief Jose Faustino Jr. personally met with U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin in Honolulu, Hawaii. There, the two sides agreed to rapidly expand bilateral security cooperation to address shared strategic interests and concerns in the Indo-Pacific. Thus, the Pentagon and the Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP, have agreed to expand their annual joint exercises to 500 next year, an increase of 60% from the current number. The U.S. will also double its participation in the Balikatan exercise, which features as many as 9,000 troops, 5,100 U.S. military personnel, and 3,800 Filipino partners, earlier this year. This year's Balikatan, the largest in history, features a full range of joint military exercises focusing on maritime security, amphibious operations, live fire training, urban operations, aviation operations, counterterrorism, and humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. Taking place shortly before Marcos Jr. took office, the U.S. expressed its commitment to strengthen international partnerships and the capabilities of participating militaries to rapidly respond to crises across the Indo-Pacific region. The Philippines-U.S. alliance is becoming increasingly important in light of growing concerns over potential Chinese kinetic action against neighboring Taiwan. In response, Manila has shown its openness to giving the Pentagon access to key bases in the event of a conflict. The Philippine Navy has detachments on the islands of Mavulai and Fuga, which are just over 100 nautical miles from Taiwan's southern coast. The ongoing 12-day Kamandag exercise, which now also features Japanese and Korean forces, is geared towards preparing the four allies for any possible contingencies in the near future. On October 7th, the Philippines and the U.S. held an amphibious assault drill at a naval base in Zambales province, which opens in the South China Sea and hosts the Subic military base, home to the largest U.S. base overseas in the Cold War era. While the Kamandag exercises made headlines for the humanitarian aid and disaster relief element, coastal defense and amphibious operations were clearly the main focus, given China's expanding footprint in the South China Sea and the nearby Taiwan Strait. His U.S. counterpart, Rear Admiral Derek Trink, was even more outspoken, stressing how the exercises help allies to be better prepared for real-world challenges and welcome more quadrilateral exercises in the future and opportunities to work multilaterally. While it is always a privilege for us to work bilaterally with the Philippines, with Japan, with the Republic of Korea, when we can bring our allies and partners together, if we can be a part of that, then we are happy to do so, he said.